ready, bruh.
I'm ready, Freddy.
Ah.
Da, 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 da.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. So we're talking about a quote, a beautiful quote that got posted on Instagram today.
By us.
By us.
It wasn't just like a random, be fair.
But you wrote it. And I think it's so beautiful, and
Thanks.
I would like to discuss it with you.
Okay. So we'll throw it up on the screen right now.
Spill.
Before her, I never loved anyone enough to love myself enough to be the person we both deserved.
Say it one more time.
Before her, I never loved anyone enough to love myself enough to be the person we both deserved. That's very sweet. I'm glad you like it.
Okay. Not only is that like beautiful, and I can't believe that you feel that way about me, but I love that you did that for yourself and for us.
Well, I think that it's all summed up in that, but that doesn't mean that it's easy to do or to understand or any of that stuff until after you've done it. It was something that we were drinking the other night and having our nightly drink and talk powwow, and we were in an emotional talk of things and of how we became who we are becoming. And in that, I just realized, I was like, this was the catalyst for me. And I think that's a really important thing. And it ties kind of directly into what we're talking about on the refinery tomorrow. But there was something so important when I met you, that there was finally a catalyst of, oh, I have, I guess I have a reason. And I think that's a hard thing. But I don't want that to be the case. And this is the important thing. This is the hard thing. I don't want that to be the case for you. I don't want that to be the case if you haven't found the love of your life, that you wait until them to love yourself enough. I did need that. And I can't, change what your life story is. Only you can. But I think, obviously I can't change anything about our lives. I wouldn't change anything about our lives because it did lead us here. But if I knew that the end goal outcome would still be the same, we could still be together, I would obviously have been a better version of myself earlier. Because I love you so much that I wish that you had gotten more of that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I feel like I was just beginning to love myself when we met, or even trying to dip my toes in that pool.
Yeah.
And man, I wish I had really jumped in the pool before we met, because I could have been better for you. It could have been better for us.
It's such a funny thing to hear you say that, just because I feel like you had so much of yourself figured out. And really what it is, and we talked about this is a phrase that I really love, which is taking us in a different direction.
Okay.
But it's the original etymology of the word compete. And in a relationship, you should be competing always, in the original definition of it, which means to strive together. Now that changes what competing is. Competing means I go this far, so you'll go this far, so I'll go this far, so you'll go this far, so I'll go this far, so you'll go this far. And we do it together. We push each other. But that's what a relationship, that's what a good relationship is. It's going, okay, I think a lot of times it's described as, okay, one person, sometimes one person's on top and sometimes the other person's on top. Like sometimes one person's doing well and you carry each other through. And I don't think it's about carrying each and just passing the torch of usefulness back and forth. I think that you work for it. I think that we work really hard to acknowledge, like, sometimes you have work to do.
Yeah.
And I have to, therefore, do the other things to allow you that space. And sometimes I have work to do. And it is therefore your job to be better in that way. And we're constantly doing that of understanding ourselves. We're competing for an understanding of ourselves. We're competing for a love of ourselves, because when I see you love yourself more, I know I can love myself more.
Yeah.
And it
But what's cool is the definition gets like misconstrued, from
yeah.
the original definition, because it makes you feel like you can't compete on the same team, and that's what you're doing. But that's the goal.
But that's why the truly great sports stories involve sportsmanship in grand ways.
Yes.
Where someone says, I care more about the sport than I do about me winning. I care more about walking up to you and saying, good job, or next time I'll beat you, or whatever it is, because I'm going to go train. I'm going to go do everything I can to be better, because I know that you'll then do the same thing, and we'll keep racing throughout eternity. And in a way,
I forget whose sports basketball story you made me watch, but it was very inspiring. I didn't get through it, but how he was really training harder to push his teammates. It was one of the greats.
Okay.
It was a documentary that you were making me watch.
We're talking about Michael Jordan, the last.
Yes. Michael Jordan, what a great guy.
Just that random basketball documentary.
That was a great documentary.
It was.
But I liked that he was, I haven't finished it, but he's pushing the guys. He's pushing the guys. And they were together, team, competing.
So that's why I may have changed today's episode name from today's quote to why you should be competing in your relationship.
But we can circle back to the OG.
No, what's the OG?
Oh, your
no,
quote,
well, I mean, the quote is what drove us here,
right,
but
right,
I think that's the entire point. The entire point was learning to love myself came out of a passion for loving you, and understanding that I can only do that if I love myself. The only way I could become the person that I wanted to be was by loving myself. But for some reason, the only way that I could do that was by having something to love enough to learn to love myself, to drive me forward to we've been competing with our self-love, which has then driven our relationship that much further.
Yes. And I'll tell you, I have recently come to a plateau, as it were, within myself, and I'm watching you going, all right, get ready. She's coming. And it is very inspiring, because I not only owe that to myself, but I owe that to you, because you've shown me such love and respect by being the best you can be all these years. And not that I'm not trying to constantly be the best me for myself and you, but sometimes you'll level up, as it were.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, my whole perspective has been blown open. Like, there's just a whole shift. Because sometimes, you're doing baby steps. Sometimes you're doing little leaps. And then something like grand happens.
Sometimes you accidentally hit the wrong cable and the elevator just fucking flies up.
Right.
It's very James Bond. It's very like, she doesn't understand that reference. It's okay. Some of you do. I'll put a clip in so we all understand it together. Right? Now we get it. She doesn't, because she's not watching the clip. I'll tell her about it. I'll show her afterwards. She'll get it. It's a very cool thing. And I'll tell you what the most exciting thing for me is I know that right now I'm kind of the driving force of that. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I'm constantly looking in that rear view, as it were, and going, oh shit, what is she? Not even rear view. I'm looking next to me in the passenger seat and going, I don't know what's going to happen when you suddenly grab that wheel that's in front of you and press that gas, because the car is just going to explode forward, because I know the work that you're doing. I know how important it is, and how hampering it is, and how emotional it is, and what kind of what it does to your fuel economy as far as your day-to-day energy. And it's cool to see when those shackles are taken off. I'm already like, you better start doing some push-ups and some emotional
You guys
like
probably think
pull-ups.
that I'm like revealing like a multi-billion-dollar business soon, but it's
I don't
really
think that's what
not.
they think.
It really is just this
It's
hidden
I don't
hurt work.
please throw in the
But
comments below whether you think that we're talking about a multi-million-dollar business or whether we're talking about something extremely personal that is going to, help our relationship grow. Because I think that that's what we're putting out and exactly what they're getting. But let's see what happens. I could absolutely be wrong. I have been wrong before, many times.
either way, wait, I had it. I was gonna get on a train,
Okay, sorry.
like on a cart, and I lost it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait,
It's just rolling on by.
put a pin in it.
Okay, we'll keep that door open. So we're talking about competing in your relationships. We were talking about pushing yourselves forward, driving the car. I'm looking at you and going, oh shit, when she's her next level, it's going to fucking pull us into something crazy. And
do you mind if I just remembered? So
what's the point?
Oh, thank you. You brought me back to the train. So we were saying, like, you were saying you wished you had been able to do it on your own, or if you couldn't change anything, or it'd been nice.
I would have
maybe.
liked to have been better for you earlier on,
and vice versa. But at least I was saying I dabbled. I put my toes in the pool of self-love and self-work, as it were. But what's so attractive, if you are single right now and you're dipping your pool, you're
pool on your toes. You're dipping the pool at the toes.
If you know what I'm saying.
Dipping your toes in the pool, just in case you don't.
Just jump in the pool.
Just jump in the pool.
Because it's so sexy, you guys. What's sexier than seeing someone
just move out of a pool?
Well, I don't do well in the pool. I don't water in the face. But it's very sexy to see someone that is self-loving and self-lifting themselves up and pushing themselves forward and evolving and working on themselves. It's very sexy. It is law of attraction. It's that magnetic force. It's the X factor that you can't figure out why that person is so attractive, because there's beautiful people, of course, but sometimes they're like so not attractive. It has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? Like you meet them and you're like, ew.
Yeah.
There's just nothing attractive about you. And then sometimes there's just, that's why I don't like types. And I'm excited on Tuesday we're talking about why types are silly. But like you can meet anyone and they might have that X factor and you just can't put your finger on it. But it usually is that they have that thing that, what is it called? That
Je sais pas.
Je sais quoi?
I think me joie de vivre.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't speak French. Remy, what do you got?
But like there's that special thing. So do it now. Like we're telling you this now because we didn't have the tools back then.
Absolutely.
When we were single.
Yes.
But do it now because man, you'll be that much further along to find your match.
We're going to throw something else out here. And by we, I mean me, but
okay.
We. Wow, that was such a weird wink. I'm sorry. Not yours, mine.
I winked with you, so I was like,
it wasn't weird, but I was already saying it was weird, and I feel weird. The thing we were saying is the confidence that comes along with self-love doesn't even look or smell or anything like cockiness.
No.
So get that shit right on out of here because it's absolutely useless to you to walk into a room and be cocky. That's why fake it till you make it is not an end-all be-all phrase. It works in certain business situations.
Yes.
At low levels. I
would test out when we met, I was in not a weird phase. I was in the very beginning phase, like I said, of testing out my self-love and
you were in your early 20s.
Yes, so exactly.
We were testing out a lot of things in the city of New York.
I want to make sure that whoever loves me knows what they're getting into. Mm-hmm. So I did that in a lot of different interesting ways.
It was awesome.
And I am sure I was wild and did inappropriate things. But what I remember testing out, like some guys, believe it or not, do not want to see you in your curlers and bleaching your mustache.
Because they want to believe you don't poop.
Well, they
either.
want to believe that you poop marshmallows and you smell like angels all the time, and I don't know, like whatever.
Not this one.
Well, I have dated some a-holes that really thought that, you know, and it pissed me off. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start really like living my truth, like almost like tenfold in public to like see how people react. So like at work, for example, when I first met you and I knew that there was kind of maybe a vibe happening, I made it a point to put my hot rollers in. So I had a whole head of hot rollers and I would bleach my mustache. Granted, I still had my hoops in. And I'd walk around the green room, which is like backstage at the theater, and I'd be like getting ready for the show, bleaching my mustache. I'm Italian, you know. Well, come to find out Jewish too, but like, you know, it's thick. And I needed to know that he, like, not that you were gonna do anything. I needed to know what you were gonna do, how you were gonna react, and how it made me feel. And what you did in that moment, I would have married you right then.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He just laughed his little booty off. And I remember feeling so loved and like accepted by you, and like we really weren't flirting, like we hadn't kissed, we hadn't even, like we were just
we weren't flirting,
we
hadn't even kissed.
Well,
like,
we were
come
flirting,
on.
but we hadn't, like, it was still like, I don't even know if I was necessarily
Of course
single.
we were. No, you weren't. No, but there was flirtation, but it was also completely.
You made it apparent that, and I don't know how you did this, and maybe I'm making this up, but you made it apparent that you thought it was fucking hilarious that I had bleach on my mustache and I was walking around in my curlers, strutting my stuff, and that I was still beautiful. You made it apparent to me that I was still beautiful, regardless. And I was trying to push the limit to be like, how about now?
I mean, that was definitely the limit. Had you pooped right then, I would have been like, I don't open the door. Know anymore. You're still beautiful, but that may be a line of crazy I won't cross.
Maybe boundaries before we, have to deal with those boundaries.
Yeah, you got to learn somewhere. The 1, 2, 3 rule. Check it out up here. Also, a few minutes ago, I tagged our love story playlist up here, so check that out.
Yeah. If you need the backstory. But yeah, like, I don't know how we got to this, but you...
No, but that's a really important thing, because that was the beginning of our competition of be your most authentic self.
Yes.
Which is why when I met you, I was actually, we talked about this on Tuesday, I was my least and most authentic self. And I guess sometimes I got to give myself some sort of reprieve, because when I walked into that building, I wore the same t-shirt every day, washed it sometimes in the sink, sometimes. My jeans, same jeans, never washed them. I put them in the freezer, because that is not, I don't think, a thing. Doesn't matter.
Jeans in the freezer?
People say that it kills the bacteria, but I don't think that works.
I've heard it with sneakers, not jeans, though.
Why would it work with sneakers and not jeans?
Well, no, just why wouldn't you wash your jeans?
I don't know. Well, at the time, I didn't have any furniture or a place, or like it was a whole thing.
Okay.
But either way, I would wear my t-shirt, my jeans, and my boots every day. And that was on purpose. And my little Gavin DeGraw like beanie pulled back just enough. And that
I was so attracted to that beanie.
And that was a lucky draw.
Whenever he puts on a gray beanie.
Which is why if you go into my Instagram, you will find that. And if you don't already, check us out on Instagram at colt.and.ang. Subscribe, like, comment, all that cool stuff. We really, really love it when you guys comment, because we love being able to talk to you and know that stuff, like what you dig, all that good stuff. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway.
Or go to Colt's Instagram at Colt.Pradis.
I think it's just Colt Pradis.
Colt Pradis.
Yeah, I think Gary fixed it.
And I'm sure will see the gray beanie that I'm talking about here.
Within like the last 5 posts.
And maybe you should tag the Gavin DeGraw cover album that I'm talking about here.
Maybe I'll just put it right here.
So when Chariot, that album came out, I was obsessed. And then this is a total like
Chariot was an album
we're
called
going
a CD.
Side story. Shut up. I did have the CD though. Yeah, of course I had a CD, and I had a CD player that I would listen to on the subway.
A Walkman?
Is that what it was called? No, a Walkman was a cassette.
Oh, did they not come out with a
Oh,
CD
maybe a Walkman was the
I don't
CD.
know.
Well, either way, I did have the CD, and I kept it in my pocketbook, and I had my
pocketbook.
my overhead.
No. By the way, she did not have an iPod because she still had a flip phone. She had a Motorola Razr purple flip phone.
Yep. And so I would listen
to
it
out there.
On the subway to work. Oh, that album though. And like, it wasn't like I was attracted to Gavin, but I was attracted to the idea of Gavin, and the songs were so great.
Yeah.
And then, dun dun dun, I walk into the green room one day. Well, long story. You should also link that. Go see the video. But
yeah, it's the same one.
Okay, I walk into the green room, and I see, like, Gavin's hot brother, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, I was not ready. And he sings the songs. I wasn't ready.
The first time I didn't know that she liked Gavin DeGraw. And the first time that I was over at her apartment and I was singing, and just like offhand, and you were like,
he was like,
oh my God, you like him? Wait, you know him? Oh my God, you sing like that? I was like, oh, that makes me feel very nice. I guess I'll do this forever. And then we went down to Gavin's co-owner of a bar, National, what's it called? National Underground. Down in the village. Thank you. Thank you. And we were in there one night and watching a friend of ours do a set. And then we went upstairs to the other bar. And as we're sitting there, in walks just somebody in a gray beanie. And everybody kind of goes a flutter. And she suddenly goes a flutter. And I look, and it's Gavin DeGraw. At which point he gets on stage and sings like an impromptu concert. It was
a great night.
It was a fun night. We kind of got off topic, but the goal, no matter what, was, the truth of it is we're competing to be our most authentic selves now and always. So sorry.
Oh, no, and I was saying it's so important, whether you are in a relationship, whether you are on the search to find your soulmate, or whether you're just sort of like happy being single right now and discovering yourself. It's going to create a fuller you,
That's the goal, right? No. I think that's. I do not feel like you did. I fucking love you so much. Look, the truth is, competing with the love of your life in your relationship is a big part of love.
Yes!
It just is. For more dating videos, you can go check up here, and then for more relationship videos, you can check over here. For like the Refinery playlist, you can go over here. That's our show on Friday, and then up here you can just subscribe. Hopefully, I put those hands in the right place. I love you.